Looking forward to this. Wow, our internet must be working a little better than usual tonight. Ray, we're already on the air. Welcome, everybody, to Off the Record with Randall. Tonight, I'm already in my Falcons gear because, Ray, we're going to have a NFL draft recap after this show with, as you showed me, Robbie, Raj, and Randall. They should be a comma there. Thanks for helping me out there, buddy.
Yeah.
Tonight, I'm so blessed to have one of my favorite people in the whole world back on. I am back on the air with, well, let me tell everybody a story. This was supposed to be pretty regular every couple of weeks, but somebody has gotten where they're playing a lot of little league ball and travel ball and tournaments. So it's been all this time. Me and his mom talks literally every week to see if we can get him on. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend Ray Ray. Welcome to the show, Ray Ray.
Hello.
How you been doing, buddy?
I've been doing pretty well.
Well, I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Been a minute, ain't it?
It has.
Well, we've got about a month of the Major League season to cover here in a minute, but let's first take a little stop and let's talk about what's going on with your season. Your mom, Stevie, and your dad, Eric, are always really good to send me videos. I haven't got to see you play in person. The one time I was going to try to come, I think it ended up raining. So before the year's over, I will see you play in person, all right?
All right.
I really am impressed by the development in your hitting. Do you feel like you're hitting pretty good right now?
Yes. One thing I do want to say about it is at the start of the season, I was just batting right-handed the entire time, and then my dad reminded me I was left-eye dominant, so I switched it over to left, and I was hitting well after I switched left. Like whenever
are you hitting 100% lefty now, or are you hitting?
I'm mixing in a little bit of righty, but it's mostly lefty, just because it helps the team.
Do you see any left-handed pitchers at your age, or are they all right-handed?
Most of them are right-handed. I've only seen like 2 or 3 lefties.
Okay. Well, now this is, I think you played last year, but this is really a big year for you because you're playing, it looks like rec ball on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you've been playing tournaments, I believe, with the Cannoneers or
Cannons.
The Cannons, and that seems to be going pretty good. You've got a couple of rings out of it already.
Yeah. I don't got the one I got from last week, but this one was from a couple weeks ago. We were finalists, but we didn't win, and this is the ring we got from it.
Let's show it to the camera. Hold it up still. Awesome. That's a second place ring. I've seen a couple of second place rings come through. Have you won your first tournament yet, or have we only finished second?
The first tournament we played, we won.
Yes, I remember that.
It was this one.
That's awesome. Everybody, please excuse the background noise. I've got some construction going on in my area. Well, a couple more, Ray. Do you care to talk about your baseball season? I got some questions I'd like to ask.
And I got a game ball to show you. It was the first game of the last turn. The first game we played on the D-Bat tournament last week, and I went 2 for 2 with 2 homers.
2 for 2, 2 homers, and 3 RBIs.
Yep.
Is that the best game you've had so far?
Probably. I mean, I hit a home run both at bats, so I'd say that's probably the best.
Now, Ray, it seems like you are seeing the ball really good up in the zone. Do you like the pitches up to get your arms extended, or what's your philosophy when you get to the plate? What are you looking for?
I'm usually what I'm looking for. I'm not usually I mean, I could look for it high or low. It just depends what pitcher it is, but usually I don't want it inside or outside. I usually want it over the plate, but I don't really care if it's low or high.
Well, I did notice this weekend it looked like you got 2 high pitches, and you were batting lefty, and you were able to get behind them. And one of them, it looked like you easily scored, and the other one, it looks like they may have overthrew the ball at third base and you scored. So you ended up scoring again. What do you feel like when that ball pops off your bat and you know you've hit it well?
Yeah. So whenever it pops off my bat, I like I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, if it's hit in the air, I think it's hit pretty well because usually they usually don't catch it. Like I've only seen one fly ball be caught this year in the outfield, so that's why I feel like every time I hit it in the air, I feel like it's going to be a pretty good hit.
So, unlike the major leagues, if you can get it up in the air, you feel like you got a shot to get it down somewhere, right?
Yes.
So, who's been working with you on your hitting? Because it looks dramatically better.
So over the winter, there
Yes.
was this guy at Baylor. His name is Pete Hughes.
Okay.
And he helped me and one of my friends named Pierce. He helped us with hitting, and Pierce is I think he's on a select team now.
Are you happy at the level you are right now? Just kind of want to hang out here with the Cannons for this year and your rec league team? Is your dad talked about moving you up to the next level yet?
He hasn't really talked about it, but he may soon.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some hard questions here.
All right.
All right. This is all about you. Then we'll get into the major leagues. What is the first thing you do when you get into the batter's box?
First thing I do.
First thing you do.
Usually I just think about like the previous batter that was behind me, and I kind of watch what kind of pitches he was throwing. Okay. And I'm looking for pitches that were similar to that.
Okay. Or when you are on deck, are you on deck? Are you kind of trying to time the guy? Because that was a big thing for me, is I wanted to go over on deck and I wanted to time the pitcher. Do you try to get your timing while you're on deck?
Sometimes I do, but usually I just watch what kind of pitches he throws. But sometimes I'll do a little bit of timing. Like even before the game, I do some timing.
Okay. Is anybody throwing anything other than like a fastball and a changeup? You're not seeing curveballs yet or anything like that, are you?
No, not really. I'm just seeing like pitches that they want to make forced contact with.
Okay.
Like I've usually, it's either all over the place or it's right down the middle. There's no middle.
That's I coached a 10 and 11-year-old baseball for a long time, and I would tell my pitchers, you just got to get it over them. You got to get it over. You can't get them out unless you throw strikes. So usually kids are really trying to throw strikes, and that leads to my next question. How hard is it do you feel like you have a pretty good eye that you can lay off an obvious ball? Or my struggle when I was your age was to be able to recognize the difference than one in a dirt and one 4 foot over my head.
Usually I know if it's going to be high or low just because like the release point, like if the release point's like way up here, I know it's going to be high, but if it's like down here, it's probably going to be low.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're paying a lot of attention to where the pitcher's arm is.
Yeah.
All right. I think you're doing amazing, by the way, bud. The last 2 videos I saw, what I really liked was hitting left-handed. You stayed on your back foot. You drove through the ball. I'm no baseball expert, but hey, made me think of a little Will Clark swing from the 1990s. So he was one of my favorite players back then. I have a question not about hitting. Who worked with you to run bases, and I'll tell you why. Because I watch your videos, and you hit second so good. You're always hitting it with your lead foot. You're not slowing down and have to look for it. And so many kids your age, when they're running bases, they almost have to stop when they get to the base. But you're running through the base, and I think that's helping you get a couple of home runs. Did your granddad or your dad, or was it the coach at Baylor that worked with you on running the bases?
So it's kind of a mix of everybody that's taught me how to do that.
Uh-huh.
I think my Papa Rick, I think he got me started out with it. And then Coach Pete, he kind of talked about it, but he mainly focused on hitting and fielding. But my first and third base coach for the Cannons this year,
Uh-huh.
they taught me about how to hit the inside of the bag.
Okay. It's really good. All right, Ray. So you're playing well. You're feeling good. This is what your second year at this level.
Yes, sir.
What do you think you've improved the most on?
I think it would be hitting maybe.
Okay.
Like finishing my swing, because I saw a clip from fall ball last year, and I kind of stopped my swing like right here. Okay,
Yep.
like I swung, and then it was like this. This is where I stopped. And then over the winter, Coach P taught me to get the full swing, like
What
fully swing.
what would you we love baseball. You love baseball. I love baseball. What would you tell kids that are thinking about playing baseball or getting involved in baseball? What would you tell them right now if they're sitting at home and playing video games? What would be your advice?
Oh, um, I'd probably just tell them to start out like how I did, kind of like just start out with the basic stuff.
Okay.
Okay, and then they can gradually come up, like similar to me.
Okay.
Like I didn't start getting interested in baseball until I was like 8 or 9.
Oh, you're a late starter then. 8 or 9? It's still pretty early, isn't it, though, buddy?
Yeah, I'm 10 right now.
Are you 10? Oh, I keep telling everybody you're my 9-year-old baseball guru. I've robbed you from a year, haven't I?
Yeah.
So my 10-year-old baseball guru. I'll get it right next time, okay, buddy?
Okay, that's fine.
How are you enjoying catching?
I'm really enjoying it, especially whenever our pitchers have improved and I don't have to go way over here to catch it. It's right here. Okay, so I don't have to do this. I like it. I enjoy it because it doesn't work the heck out of me.
Do you get do you is it a hard day when they're all over the place and you're chasing the ball?
Yeah, it kind of it's kind of annoying, but most of our pitchers don't do that, so it doesn't really happen ever.
Well, give a shout out to some of your teammates. Who would you like to say hi to? Anybody?
Yeah. Camden, he's really good at hitting and pitching. Brady, he's really good pitching. And Charlie, I got something crazy to tell you about him. Okay, so we were playing in the championship game. Okay, and there was a ball coming to his left that was like way out here. Hit a line drive up the middle, and he leaped off his feet to catch the ball to his left, and it was playing short.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty good play then, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Just a little more about your season, then we're going to get on to the major leagues, and we're going to talk about those Chicago Cubs right behind you. And we're going to talk about my struggling Atlanta Braves. I mean, I'm a little disappointed, Ray, but we'll get into that in a minute. Last question about your season. tell me who your coaches are and any more of your teammates you want to mention, and anything that you want to tell us about your season.
Okay, first of all, my coaches, my head coach, his name is Jeremy Gill. First base coach is Ashley Mew. And then my third base coach is Michael. I don't really know how to say his last. I think it's Savdach or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. And then a lot of my teammates, so I've mentioned Camden, Brady, and we got this guy named Easton. Okay, he came back from breaking his arm
Wow.
from this last tournament.
Did he break his arm playing baseball?
No, he broke his arm, I think, tripping or something. That's what he told me.
No, I trip quite often myself. All right, Ray.
And I got one more player.
Go ahead.
His name is Huck. He's taking a vacation, but still, he's really good at hitting. Okay, he's a lefty. Okay.
Yep.
And he's been hitting the ball really well for us.
Sounds like you found a lot of good guys you're playing with. And isn't that the most? Isn't baseball supposed to be fun?
Yes.
Yeah. What? You know what? Your mom posted a picture. Your knees were dirty. Your face was dirty. You looked like you had played about 8 hours in a row. And I was so proud of you. I really was. I'm like, because you kept saying that it's a big move from going to hitting baseballs in your backyard to now playing on a pretty high level and feeling good about it. So I'm really, really proud of you. So let's get back to the major leagues for a minute. It has been a crazy first month. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I agree.
I never dreamed the San Francisco Giants. Let's start out west. We said at the beginning of the year that out west it would be the Padres or the Dodgers. You got a message here. Tell Ray you're special. To say watching and to play and shine out there brings us so much joy as an understatement. We can't just see where you go, and we want to keep you up as long as you can. I'm sorry. I'll send you a copy of it, Ray. I can't hardly read it.
No, I can see it.
Okay, Mr. Randall's eyes are bad, but that's from Lacey Gill. That's very nice. Thank you. Would you like to say thank you?
Thank you, Lacey.
All right. We said the Dodgers and the Padres out west going to be the power of the National League. Right now, the San Francisco Giants lead the National League West. How shocked are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked. Especially the performances from Buster Posey and Evan Longoria. It's like we got taken back to 2014 or something like that.
Well, you're right. They're playing well. I really think, young Yaz, the son of, for us old folks, son of Carl Yastrzemski, is playing so well for the Giants. He's a real star on that team. Do you think, because in my opinion, it's still going to come down to the Dodgers and the Padres. But do you think the Giants can scrap around and maybe stay above 500 and keep this interesting?
They could. It couldn't. It depends if Buster Posey is doing what he's doing and Evan Longoria is doing what he's doing. And Mike Yastrzemski. And I don't think they're probably gonna. They could make it interesting with the Padres. Who knows? If they keep it up, if they keep up what they're doing.
Well, one thing that was interesting to me was the Padres lost Tatis for a bunch of the early part of the season. Have you been able to see Tatis hit since he got back from his injury?
Yeah, I got to see him play on live TV. I got to see him pimp a home run against Trevor Bauer. That was pretty exciting.
It was. Now, you did get to see the Braves, and we'll get into that in a little bit. I'm jealous. But, all right. So we think the West is kind of up for grabs, but the end of the year, it's still going to be the Dodgers and the Padres probably. But it's fun to see the Giants up there while it lasts, for sure. Now, over in the Central, we've got the Cards leading, and I think both of us picked the Cards. But
I picked the Brewers.
You picked the Brewers. I picked the Cards. I want to ask you about your Cubs. The logo in front of you, they're 12-16, I believe it is right now.
I believe it is.
Okay.
And I think how they could make an improvement. I mean, I was kind of expecting this from the Chicago Cubs, but the thing they could improve on is definitely pitching, because they've had so many high-scoring games and they've still lost because of their pitching.
Yeah, they've hit the ball well.
Yeah, I think they could trade some of their prospects for pitchers, like a bunch of pitchers that are like that are good. Like get some pitchers that are good, and then put them out there and see how they do.
Are you seeing all these comments coming in? Johnny Baker,
Joni,
Mabel Molina, Peggy Thacker, Blue Highway, Anita Slaus. Well, you got Annette. You got I don't have my. You know what? Remind Mr. Randall to get his glasses fixed. Sorry, everybody. I broke my glasses literally right before we got on the air. A lot of people happy to see you back on the air, as I am. So you think the Cubs need to move some prospects for some pitching? Do you have any of the Cubs stats up in front of you right now?
Not. I can search them up.
Oh, no, it's okay. We're going to talk stats in between the American and National League.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get over to the East. And you got to see the Braves recently. So the Braves that I picked they'd go all the way to the World Series or the National League Championship. Boy, they're struggling bad. And they got a win on the Cubs the night, I believe you were down there, but they had to score 6 and come back late. What's wrong with the Braves, Ray?
I think it's the same problem as the Braves or the Cubs, but a lot of their good pitchers are injured.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Max Fried is injured.
He is.
And I think Mike Soroka's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, he was injured coming into the year, but yes, you're right.
So it's not the problem that they have bad pitchers. It's just that their pitchers aren't there.
Well, I didn't ask on the Central. Let's go back there. Do you still think it's the Brewers that's going to win the Central?
Yes, because they've got Corbin Burns, which he's just been disgusting this year. I mean,
nasty.
Yeah, he's been disgusting. And they got Colton Wong. He's won a couple Gold Gloves. I've seen like a crazy double play that him and the shortstop turned. It was crazy.
Right, and he really, Colton Wong, I think we talked about before the season started, hits ridiculous in Milwaukee, and that was a huge pickup for them. How about in the East? I picked the Braves, but I really think it's going to turn out to be the Nats, maybe. Where's your pick at right now in the East?
I still got. I mean, if the pitchers come back for the Braves, if they come back, I still have hope in them because they still have Acuna, which he's just been smacking the ball lately. And then you got Freeman, which he's been doing decent.
Yeah. Struggling with his own base percentage, but he's hitting well.
Yeah.
Let's see if I've got it up here. My little collection here. I was going to show you while we're on the Braves. I want to show you my newest addition to my collection because, like Ray, I may be a little bit older, but I'm a big baseball collector too. That's my newest addition. I'm really proud to have it. It's a rookie Freddie Freeman card. I was really grateful to get that.
And I also have something too.
Yeah, you want to show us?
Yeah, I got it in here somewhere. It's a Cubs prospect.
Oh, nice.
It's Nico Horner, and it's signed.
Nice. And graded.
Yep.
What kind of grades that got on it?
It says Jim Mitt 10.
Nice. Nice. So it's another thing we share in common is we both collect cards. All right. Now you prepared a little segment before, and I'm going to let you just go through it, and I'll listen to you. You've got some stats ready for us, and you're going to break down some stats. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about the American League after that.
Yeah, I just got some stats for hitting and pitching right now. Who leads in the stats right now? It's just the league leaders.
Okay, go for it, buddy.
So Cedric Mullins leads in hits with 38, and there is 5 people tied for homers. Acuna, Chris Bryant, Nick Castellanos, JD Martinez, and Shohei Ohtani are tied for 9. JD Martinez leads in RBIs with 26, and Mike Trout leads in both average and OPS with average of 410.
Ridiculous.
And an OPS of 1,000.
That's unreal.
And then we got the pitching, which is taken over by basically one person. ERA is .51 for Jacob deGrom. Mark Melanson has 10 saves. Shane Bieber leads in strikeouts with 68. And Jacob deGrom leads in whip and opponent batting average with .57 whip and a 136 batting average.
All right. You got any more for us on stats?
No, I just did the kind of the basic ones.
I want to ask you about a couple of things that you just talked about and get your feelings about it. One is Cedric Mullins with 38 hits, kind of out of nowhere in my head. Is he for real? Is he that good?
I mean, he's kind of been hiding with the Orioles organization for a little bit, but now in 2021, he just came out and keeps on getting hits. So I guess, I mean, it's not a 60-game schedule anymore, so I guess, I don't know, maybe he's out here to play now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a career 250 hitter that all of a sudden is tearing it up now. I'm good for him. JD Martinez is having a heck of a year for the Red Sox. Have you got to see him play so far this year? And are you surprised with that great team, the great hitting on that team? He's kind of now the guy that's really leading that team in hitting.
Yeah. In 2019, he was amazing, but people kind of got down on him for his 2020 season. But then he just did basically the opposite of what everyone thought he was going to do in 2021. He's been smacking the ball. He's been leading that Red Sox team with fantastic hitting.
I mean, he's played really, really well. I want to ask you about Acuna, and I can't get off of this. Acuna has scored 26 runs in 26 games, and I know you're a historian of the game. They have not been anybody one player since this century has went over 150 runs scored. Can Acuna score 150 runs at the top of the Braves lineup with Freddie and Marcel and then, of course, everybody that hits behind him. Could we see him have 150 runs scored?
I mean, we definitely could, because you're talking about like him getting drove in by other people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And the fact that he's going to hit 40 home runs and score those runs too. So
Yeah.
he's gonna have an advantage over most leadoff guys, right?
Yes.
So,
And he's really got a shot at it. He's definitely got a shot at it. I mean, he's a great hitter. He he chased the 40-40 season in 2019. He could do it this year if he wanted to. And he almost had a 40-40 season in 2019. He could do it again, or he could do it. And yeah, he could definitely score 150 runs with him always getting leadoff homers and hits. That's not true.
so all right. So this is crazy, and I want to ask you this question, and I find it amazing. Sometimes I feel like I'm the one talking to an adult here, but you're 10. Acuna is 23. Soto's 22. If these guys play to, like some of the guys to their late 30s, early 40s, you're going to be in your late 20s when they're still going to be playing in the major leagues. That's unreal when you start thinking about it, that you could grow up watching Soto your whole life and conceivably be in the major leagues yourself someday and playing against those guys. Is it just that baseball, those numbers and those years seem so big? Like, I remember my favorite kid growing up, or my favorite player growing up, was Hank Aaron. He played 22 years in the major leagues. Have you ever thought that these guys will still be in the majors when you're grown up?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. Like you got a bunch of young superstars in the game right now. You got Acuna. You said he was 23. Soto,
22.
22.
Yeah.
I think Tatis is 21 or 22.
Yeah, I'm not sure on Tatis, but he's there.
I mean, he's definitely there. And you just got so many of these young people just tearing it up at the best level in the world.
It's
I
crazy.
mean, it just blows my mind.
I know. And I had a friend. I came up in a time, I started collecting cards in the early 80s. And I remember one of the first years I was collecting cards, that it had Ron Sandberg's second card in it, Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs' first cards in it. And I watched those guys my whole life. Um, when you go watch the Braves, knowing that you're a Cubs fan, do you root for your team, but do you enjoy watching other players that are good on the opposing teams?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think, yeah, it, yeah, I really enjoy whenever the other team hits too, because like at least you get to see it
Yeah.
and watch. Like whenever I'm not become the GM of the Red Sox.
I think these folks want you to be a Red Sox fan, Ray, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Well, before we get off of these stats, how about Chris Bryant being up there in home runs? You called it before the start of the year. You said he was going to have a bounce back year. He's playing good and playing good defense right now. Are you still think he's on pace to hit 30 by the end of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he's hit 9 in like 30 something games, he can definitely do it in 162.
Absolutely. I'm really happy for Chris Bryant. He's one of the real good guys in baseball. All right, let's jump over to the American League real fast. Your friends, that the
Barkers.
the Barkers, their Red Sox lead the East 17-12, 2 games up on the Blue Jays. The Yankees are 14-14. Are the Red Sox? We won't tell the Barkers what you say, but are the Red Sox for real? Can they compete with the Yankees for the division?
I mean, if that offense, if they keep on producing, I mean, that offense is stupid. Okay. They got JD Martinez. They've got Rafael Devers. I mean, they've just got they got Bobby Dahlbeck. They got so many bats in there. It's just mind blowing. Okay. I mean, you don't even have to worry about the pitching whenever you have that many bats. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Barker wanted us to answer a question. Who leads the East again? Ray, I'll let you handle that. Who's leading the American League East?
Okay, how do I explain it? Wait, let me go get something. Let me go get something. Okay.
Okay. Y'all, this is live internet podcasting right now. And when the star wants to go get something, we let Ray go get something. Thank you for joining us. Give us a like and follow. What you got there, Ray?
I just got to show one item.
Go for it, buddy.
Look. I got Red Sox.
Yep. And that's the leader in the American League East right now. Yeah. That's true.
It's true.
I was just begging for likes and follows. If you enjoy Ray, he'll be back many, many times, especially at this 6 o'clock hour. He's a rotating guest of ours. So Ray and his Red Sox. You going to wear the Red Sox next time, Ray?
I'm going to wear them right now.
All right. Let me ask you about the Central while you get your Red Sox on.
All right.
The Kansas City Royals lead the Central. White Sox are 1 game back. I think we both picked the White Sox, or I did. I think it's just a matter of time before the White Sox take the lead in that division. Is that what you're thinking? You are making the Barker family very happy by putting your Red Sox on. Do you think the White Sox are going to catch the Royals, and by the All-Star break, that'll be their division?
Yeah, I still think the White Sox are gonna kill it.
All right, out west, the A's, who I picked, lead the Astros by 2 games, and I think you picked the Astros, or
I did.
So, the one that's struggling, both of us picked the Angels, or I picked the Angels to make the playoffs. They're 13-14. What do you think happens out west? Is the A's, that great young A's team, good enough to stay up ahead of that division all year?
They definitely could make the wild card spot, but I mean they definitely could beat the Astros.
Okay.
I mean, the trash can stuff kind of gets in their head.
Yeah, the trash can, which they're not supposed to be doing anymore, so we're going to go with it.
I know, but it kind of gets in their head, so maybe.
All right. Well, we kind of made our way around. We're going to do something different. I didn't want you to prepare for this, but for a few minutes, then we'll get into our legend of the game. Which would you like to tell folks who our legend of the game is?
It is Larry Walker.
Larry Walker. And we already know next month's legend of the game, but we'll save it for them until then.
Yeah, we're not telling you.
Yeah. I want to ask you about a few players, young players. And I know you are a fan of baseball in general. Give me your reaction. Are you a fan of those players, or these players I'm going to ask you about? Or, well, I know you're a fan because you're just such a huge baseball fan, but just give me your thoughts. When I say their name, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Okay?
Okay, go.
All right, Mike Trout.
Goat.
Mike Trout.
Goat.
All right, I gotta give you another one out west.
Okay.
Fernando Tatis.
I think about like excitement. I think about celebration. I just think about a bunch of fun stuff whenever I think of Fernando.
Lewis Roberts.
Luis Robert.
Yeah, well, we know we know Randall has trouble with pronunciations.
I think
Luis
about
Robert.
I think about maybe this similar stuff, except I kind of think about like this tall guy and this just huge guy just running the bases like super fast. I mean, he's super fast, and he has a and he celebrates home runs in the postseason against the A's.
How about Jacob DeGrom?
Jacob DeGrom, the goat of pitching.
Best going right now, don't you think? Let's go with another pitcher
All right,
and hitter.
Shohei.
Shohei. What do you think of him as a player?
I just think of a Japanese rock star, like not like a rock star like this, but like just like a one of a kind Japanese player, which that's what he is.
He's figured it out this year. Really, he's played well. So I'm really excited to watch him play the rest of the year.
Yeah.
All right, Acuna.
Acuna. I think of this young dude that has a ton of power and a ton of speed.
Juan Soto.
I think about his bat. He has a super good bat, and he could really play for a long time if he keeps it up.
Chris Bryant.
I think about 2016 MVP.
Nico Horner. That's a good one.
Nico Horner.
Yeah.
I think of like the Cubs. I think about like a big college prospect because we haven't really seen him in the bigs yet. We haven't seen much other than 2020 season, but he's shown that he could be a really good player.
One more, and then we'll go on to our legend of the game. And I don't think we've really talked about him a whole lot. But another player that I think is just elite. Let's talk a second about Trey Turner.
Trey Turner.
Yeah, are you a fan of him? White. He may be one of the most overlooked young superstars in baseball. Of course, shortstop for the Nationals, former Florida Gator, matter of fact. What do you think of Trey Turner?
I think he got robbed of the second team. Like you know how all the best players go in the first team.
Yep.
I think he got robbed. He could have made first if he wasn't so underrated. But he was definitely robbed of a second team.
That's a good observation. All right, so this is a favorite part of mine to do this with you, and let me just explain why it's so special to me. And we'll keep doing it. And we've already got our next couple. Baseball is about history. Your granddad's taught you a lot about baseball, and I think honoring the people that kind of got us here is the way we love baseball. So we made a segment called Ray Ray's Legend of the Game. The first legend of the game was Ryan Sandberg last month. I was kind of shocked, to be honest, Ray, because I really don't think of this guy as a legend of the game. I guess because he just left so soon ago. It's not been that long. But I read a little bit of his bio. Larry Walker, what made you come up with Larry Walker? And let's walk through what you liked about Larry Walker.
So the reason I chose Larry Walker is because no one was picked for the 2021 Baseball Hall of Fame. So I just went back to 2020 to see the most recent, and he was elected then. Like he should have been elected way earlier. Right. So that's why I want to talk about him. And he's a great all-around player, and I got my script right here, and I have some stuff that he's done.
Take your time. Read it off for us, buddy.
All right. So he's won 7 Gold Gloves, 230 stolen bases. He's in the 30-30 club, which is 30 home runs. It's 30 stolen bases. He won an MVP in 1997. He had 5 100 RBI seasons. And this is the interesting stat, okay?
Okay.
Get ready for this. He's the only player in baseball history to have a 300 batting average, 400 on base percentage, 200 stolen bases, and 350 home runs.
Yeah, he was a great player. That MVP year, do you have those stats in front of you? I believe it was 97. 49 home runs, 130 RBIs.
720 slugging.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
366. Does he get overlooked because he played in Coors Field?
Yes, he definitely does.
Okay. So for the average fan, let's talk about Coors Field for a second. Of course, Coors is in Denver, which is way above sea level. And supposedly, and I don't think it's supposed, it does, the ball flies out of there a little easier. So do you, I think that it punishes players who play most of their career at Coors. But Ray, you still got to get your bat on the ball, correct?
Yeah.
And he's also still got to play in the field. And he won how many Gold Gloves?
7.
All right. I got a little trivia for you, Ray.
All right.
And we'll start towards wrapping it up. What do you know where Larry Walker is from? His
Canada.
original. Okay. So, do you know that before he was a baseball player, he was a highly competitive and successful hockey player? Do you find that unusual since he's from Canada?
I don't find it unusual, but I didn't know.
He had offers to play professional hockey at one point. And the other thing that I read today after we talked about this, when he first started in the minor leagues, he really struggled badly. He was a guy, they said in his first minor league season that he only hit 222, and his teammates said he went up and looked for nothing but fastballs because he hadn't seen like a really high level pitching. So what does that tell you about Larry Walker, the player, that if he struggled that bad his first year and still made it to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
He definitely learned late. Well, that's what it seems like because wait a minute. He definitely struggled because they said he was getting hockey. He was doing hockey before baseball, so like he didn't really know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he really didn't have time to develop with baseball.
That you're absolutely right. That's exactly what the article read. But yeah, and you're exactly right. Does it say something about his work ethic that he got that much better after he was a professional player?
Whenever I did my whenever I researched everything about him, it really didn't say anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew he was from Canada. Just I didn't know he struggled that much until I looked at his stats.
Yeah. I was just looking at his first minor league season here. Let's see if I can find it again. While we're talking, looking this up, what's the next time you play? Do you have a schedule in front of you if folks want to come out and see you play sometime? If you don't, that's okay.
I don't know the next time I'm going to play. You're going to have to ask my mom about that
Okay,
one.
that's all good. His first season in the minor leagues. You ready for this, Ray?
Yep.
Played in 62 games. He hit in 62 games. Would you like to take a guess about how many home runs?
3.
2. Close.
Gosh.
26 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, and a whopping 223 average at single A baseball. So he had to do a little bit of improvement to get from 223 at single A to 366 in the majors, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ray. We've got about 5 more minutes, and we can talk about your league, or we can talk more about majors. But what would Ray like to talk about? Anything in particular today?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for everybody that is watching.
Tell them to like and follow us.
Like and follow
Yes.
RiverCity-Media.
Yes, that's important. That's how it keeps us on business. Go ahead, Ray. And your mom says Ray has a D-bat tournament in Chickamauga Saturday and Sunday. What's the D-bat tournament?
So we had one last week. So basically, I think 8 teams get in the tournament, and it's basically eliminate and you're gone.
Okay, single elimination. All right. Well, Ray, do you like playing tournaments, or is it a lot of pressure when you know it's like one and done? If you get beat, you go home.
I really like playing tournaments just because I get to see like certain competition that I probably haven't seen before.
Yeah, good point.
And
Go ahead, sir.
and it's interesting to see that you've seen like different pictures. Like there's been different pictures, and then there's been pictures that you've seen a bunch of times. So it's just interesting to learn about these new pictures. Like whenever you're up to hit.
And evidently, you have a regular season game at 7:20 Thursday at Chickamauga. So you're going to be playing a lot of baseball this week.
Yep.
And it's the 15th and 16th on the tournament. So the first chance to see Ray is Thursday, and not this weekend, but the next weekend he'll be playing a D-bat tournament in Chickamauga. Well, Ray, I sure enjoyed our time, and I took a rain out, I think, for us to be able to get back on. I enjoy nothing more than hearing you talk about baseball. So thanks for joining us and bringing us a little ray of sunshine. But you want to give a shout out to your family real fast?
Yeah. I want to shout out my mom. Okay. She got me set up with this whole thing, and my dad. And I know my teammates are watching, and my coaches are maybe watching.
Or
I don't know, but
watch later.
Yeah, they may watch later. But yeah, I want to shout out them. I want to shout out everybody that's watching.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And I'm going to give a shout out to the person that made it possible today, and that's Ray Ray. And you got to give your dad a shout out too. I know Mom got one. Got to hit Dad.
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Your parents, both friends of mine, of course. But Ray, I appreciate your time, and I could talk to you all day about baseball. And let's close it out with one of your favorite memories so far from this baseball season. Tell us about your 2 home run game where each ball went and how you scored real fast.
All right. So the first home run, I got up to the plate, okay.
Yep.
I fouled one off, okay, and then it was a pitch low. I'm pretty sure it was a fastball, and I hit it dead center, and it one hopped to the center field wall, and I got all the way around home. It was pretty easy because it was so deep.
That was a good shot, by the way. I saw that one.
Yeah. And then the second one was first pitch. I hit it out to right center. And it wasn't as easy because my third base coach wasn't there. So it was my head coach telling me stay at third. But the ball got past him. So I just went home because I know I can outrun him.
You got some speed, buddy. So, yeah, and Mr. Barker is right. We need to shout out Shelby too.
Yeah. She
Shelby.
gave me these.
Shelby, that's great. Mom and Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, raising an amazing young man. We're so proud to have Ray as part of the River City Media family. And you didn't know you were family at River City Media yet, did you?
I knew I was about to become one.
Yeah. And we'll get you a hat over there or something so you can support some River City Media gear. But thank everybody for joining us. It's River City Media on Facebook and YouTube. It's called Off the Record. It's Ray will be back. When his season winds down, we can get a little more regular schedule. But right now, we do our best to get him in for when and where we can. And we thank you for following us. We thank you for liking us. And most of all, Ray, I don't know how much you know this, but I so enjoy talking to you that it's made my day seeing you again, bud. And let's do this again real soon, okay?
Yes.
All right. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.
And one more thing.
Yep.
Chris Barker wanted a shout out for the Red Sox.
Give him one.
Let's shout out the Red Sox for
Shout
Chris
out
Barker.
to the Red Sox. All right.
Okay.
Everybody be safe, and we'll see you soon.